Good evening, and welcome to Sioux City by Night. I am your storyteller, Patrick Gill. In every Camarilla city, they are expected to maintain and uphold the six traditions. The first being the masquerade, and the sixth being that of the destruction. Thou art forbidden to destroy another of thy kind. The right of destruction belongeth only to thine elder. Only the eldest among these shall call the blood hunt. The coterie has stumbled upon what could probably be the missing Nosferatu primogen, lying as a pile of ash inside a mausoleum in a cemetery in Morningside. Only the fates will decide how this progresses. And now we will introduce our coterie.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I play Rachel DeWitt of Clan Tremere, who knows she's smarter than you.
Hi, I am Greg. I play Francis Jacobs Venture.
And I'm Steve, and I'll be playing Flint the Bruja.
And as a side note here, we pre-record these, and as of right now, it is currently the week of April 13th, and the Rona has claimed my facial hair, as has Greg's, and Steve's done a little trim job himself. But
I gotta fight for the last piece.
Yep. Yeah. So yes, you can't wear your masks if you got the. So
Nope.
So here we all sit. So as I was saying, the coterie is standing upon the threshold of the Peterson Mausoleum. They've also made a new friend, the Nosferatu, who calls himself Skin, and the coterie discovered him in kind of a precarious situation. Of course, Skin has done everything that he can to try to dissuade the coterie that he is not responsible for the pile of ash sitting in the mausoleum, and was trying to make a break for it, but has been convinced to stay put. And Skin is currently trying to look as small as possible in the far corner of the mausoleum, as the coterie is trying to come up with a game plan as far as how to address this situation. And that is where we will open up. Go ahead, take it away, guys.
I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
This is probably the worst thing we could have found through this portal excursion we've had.
I mean, I could have ended up dead.
Well,
We do.
you're
have
not you're not a you're whatever.
I mean, it's still bad, but I mean, look, he's seems pretty adamant that he had nothing to do with it. Of course, he would say that even if he did.
And Skin looks up nervously at that.
We need to call the sheriff.
I agree, and I look at Skin and I'm like, now you're saying you didn't have anything to do with this, and your old friend of him.
Yeah, Bosco and I go way back. This is, I'm just winging through town. I've only been around for a couple of weeks, and I've been, trying to keep tabs on him just because he's a little slippery, and I've been needing to discuss some business with him, but he's been hard to track down. I had to,
Do you have any proof at all?
Come on, don't fucking pull my leg here. You know that I'm not going to have any proof that I didn't do this.
Okay, how did you happen upon the scene before us in that case?
Well, look, I'm really not supposed to talk about this. So you guys, if you can keep this as low key as possible, it would be really appreciated. But
What? Are you Camarilla?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to contact the sheriff about this.
Well, I know the score on this. I get that, but like I can't explain everything. Okay.
I'm not expecting you. I'm just saying that we have to get the sheriff involved, and while he's a pretty busy guy, I mean, he's not unjust. So we can make you stay and talk to him, but I'm saying if you want to stay here and talk to him on your own free will, it might look better.
Please just let us know.
Okay, look. So, look, I know Sheriff Jones by reputation. Yeah, he's an okay guy. I ain't got no beef with him. But look, a long time ago, back in the 40s and 50s, let's just say there were some internal differences among members of my clan, and we made some deals and we made some arrangements to make basically a network of bolt holes, and that's actually what we call them. It's the bolt hole network, and there's only a few of them here in the city, but we've been using these to get around quickly and hopefully without notice for a long time. And at least I'm assuming that's Bosco. With him being gone, let's just say things have been a little active in some particular groups that you might not be familiar with, and like I had to use the network to try to find him. I knew that if shit was going down and he wanted to lay low, he would be using the network to get around. And I don't know how you guys found this, but that's what happened.
Stumbled into it.
Well, it's not that hard if you just look a little closer. So, wait, does that mean you know how these work?
Kind of. I wasn't involved with the deals and the arrangements that made this possible. I've only been told what I needed to know.
Where are the 3 locations? We know this one. We know the alley near the library. Where's the 3rd one?
Well, there's a few, and I'm really I've already stepped well outside the bounds of what I'm supposed to be telling you people.
No, absolutely.
So,
but you're standing next to a pile of ash, so you really don't have a lot of free room to wiggle around these things.
Look, just call Israel, all right?
Yes.
I'm done.
Please just do this.
I trust Israel with the information, I don't know you licks at all.
It's understandable.
And we don't know you.
Exactly.
Yep.
So let's just call it a day. Get Israel here. If I get staked and shipped somewhere, I get staked and shipped somewhere. But that's how it's gonna have to go. I'm done.
Would you rather? Hey, would you rather have us call him and have us meet him out here, or you want to go back to our place and have him meet us there?
I don't care what he wants. I want to call the sheriff now. And I pick up my phone and I call the sheriff.
Okay.
No speakerphone.
Alright. Hold on a second. I'm having issues, but that is okay. Need a drink. Doing Nos voices takes quite a bit out of my.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no doubt.
Not as good as Mr. Bill Load, but yeah.
Listen,
I'll find a way to work him in. And up there it is. I'm like, where did my Chrome window go? And I need my Chrome window for certain pieces of information. I had it drug all the way down so the glare didn't throw off the white balance.
yeah.
Because, God forbid we don't have, night mode in Google Docs. Which
That
is,
is a good idea.
it would come in handy. Okay. One more drink. Alright. Alright, so you call the number that you have for Israel, and it rings a few times before someone finally picks up on the other end. You hear what could probably be maybe Run the Jewels or some other kind of heavy hip-hop playing in the background, and it sounds like they're in a moving vehicle. Yeah, what's up?
Hi. This is Rachel. We have a rather urgent situation that could really use your attention.
Alright, on a scale of 1 to fucked, where's this sit?
Fucked. 11.
Alright, look, I'm kind of doing something real quick. Where are you at?
We're at the cemetery in Morningside.
Oh, okay. I'm actually kind of in the neighborhood. This is gonna work out.
Okay.
Tell you what, give me 10. Yeah, 10 minutes. Where are you at in the cemetery?
By the Peterson Mausoleum.
And there's a moment of silence. Oh. Alright, I'll be there in 5. And he hangs up.
Okay. He's on his way. He's in the neighborhood. He'll be here in 5 minutes.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, yeah. So, look. If this is Bosco, I can't stress enough that him and I, we go back.
Oh, I believe you.
And if that is Bosco, I'm gonna want the lick who did this.
I'm sure there are a lot of people that will be after that individual.
Yeah, and that is, I'm assuming that it was another lick that did it anyway. I mean, I know the Inquisition's been sniffing around. Like, if you go, like, I've heard, like, Kindred are, like, completely disappearing off the face of the map up in Vancouver. Shit is, like, really nuts up there. But, I don't think that there's anything too heavy going on. But, yeah, it's probably a lick. Would be my guess. This is a little too coincidental to be random Inquisition bullshit.
I agree.
I think we all could benefit from each other's help in this situation.
Yeah, Sheriff Jones is going to benefit from my cooperation. Like I said, I don't know you guys. Nothing personal.
I understand. No, I completely understand. It so happens that we are basically the sheriff's work dogs. He gives us a lot of stuff to take care of that he doesn't have time for. So I have a feeling this will probably be something that we will be working on with each other.
Please don't refer to me as a dog again.
I'm a dog, you're a dog, he's a dog.
Not a dog.
I do bite.
I've seen him.
Look, I mean, airing your dirty laundry is in front of a total stranger. I mean, yeah, you do you, I guess. But and with that, you hear the thump, 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 thump in the background. You recognize a vehicle from earlier. This is, Sheriff Jones's vehicle. The headlights are off. He does, however, have the fog lights going. But it pulls up, and Israel jumps out, and he enters the mausoleum. Hey, so what's going on? Oh, he looks down. Shit. Who the fuck is this guy?
This is Skin. We discovered him in this area. He claims he has nothing to do with anything that's going on here, and I think he'll be a good source of information for you and for us. Skin.
Hi, Sheriff Jones. I don't think we've ever met, but I'm a big fan. Look, I've got some stuff that I need to tell you, and I can't say it in front of these guys. It's sensitive. And Israel just kind of silently nods. All right, so you're gonna come voluntarily? Skin nods. All right, get in the back. And Skin doesn't pay you guys doesn't pay you any more attention. He keeps trying to look as small as possible, but he slinks out, and you hear him get into the vehicle and close the door. And Israel's just looking down at the pile of ash. Damn it, this is not good.
No, it is not.
How will we be able to determine if this is indeed him?
Well, I mean, you're the Tremere. I'm sure you have some idea on how this shit works. I mean, I'm just, I know a few things, but not. I wouldn't be able to do anything with this fucking pile of ash.
Well, I haven't had time yet to investigate. I would like to sense the unseen.
All right, go ahead. And as you open up your senses, I'm not going to make you do any rolls for this.
Okay.
There's no one intentionally hiding here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you've maybe used this ability before in a cemetery, but for some particular reason, this area is absolutely crawling with ghosts. And most of them are barely there. They're just, ripples in reality. There are a few that actually do appear to be solid, and they're going about whatever ghost business they've got. A few seem to be actually paying attention to you guys, just kind of looking on, not really saying anything. They don't react to anything going on, but they're just standing there watching. There's nothing untoward inside the mausoleum itself. Yeah, no crazy spiritual stuff, no crazy, wards or any sign of blood magic.
Okay.
So if this is indeed Bosco Peterson, then he met his end rather mundanely.
Well, it appears there have been no specific supernatural methods used to terminate this individual. I don't see any evidence of something. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get a couple of guys on this. It is as a out of character aside, it is getting to be like 4 o'clock in the morning now.
I figured it was getting that.
So I don't have time to button this down right now. I'm gonna get some of my guys out here. No one is coming in or out of this mausoleum. I'm gonna have to probably reach out to Primogen Espinoza, see if she can assist, and we'll just go from there. But yeah, thank you for letting me know what's. Excuse me. Thank you for letting me know what's going on. I know Skin by reputation, and he's let's just say he's not directly involved with this. I can say that much. I don't know what he's got to say that he couldn't tell me in front of you all. Probably some super crazy conspiracy Nosferatu bullshit, but one way or the other, I'll get to the bottom of this. So,
is there anything else you need from us?
No, just where's the ghoul at?
Him locked away.
Yeah, keep him under your thumb for now. I don't want him getting involved in this. He's slippery. So
he's not gonna escape anymore.
He won't be a problem again.
No.
All right. So yeah, don't tell the ghoul about this.
Oh God, no.
Well, I had to break it down Barney style. I didn't know if you guys were gonna be playing ball with me on this or not. So just do me a solid, keep the ghoul out of the way and in the dark while I deal with this.
Best place to keep fungus.
You guys really do not like him, do you?
Oh God, no.
I didn't like him the first time he was there. I don't like him the second time he's here.
If it wasn't for Rachel, he'd be dead.
Oh. Well, hopefully, yeah. Just keep him the fuck out of this. But I gotta get him taken care of and squared away. If I need anything else from you guys, I'll get a hold of you.
Sounds good.
If you find anything out about tunnel locations, let me know.
Tunnel locations? What do you mean?
Just ask him. When you're talking to him.
He means the portals.
Oh, that!
Yeah, I went through one. That was a trip.
What? I thought you said that like nothing happened at the one at the library downtown.
Oh, we went to the one in Morningside. That's how we got here. I went through the one in the Morningside library, popped out here.
Israel's looking at you, Rachel. Do you know anything about all this?
I only have a very cursory knowledge. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do more research, but it's, hermetic, secret societies, Enochian, a mixture of symbols. Will take some time to decipher.
All right. Well, if you do hear anything back on that end of it, let me know. I'm sure Skin's got plenty to tell me. But all right, I gotta get this guy taken care of. So, you guys just go about your business. Thank you for your assistance on this and getting this taken care of, and we'll keep the line open for each other. All right.
Sounds good. Good night, Sheriff.
Good night, Sheriff.
Hey, Sheriff.
Good night. And Israel goes and he gets in his car and he leaves, leaving the coterie sitting there in the middle of a cemetery an hour or two before sunrise.
Should we get the fuck out of here?
Please.
Yeah, let's get.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, everyone piles into Flint's truck, and I'm assuming you guys are heading back to the Windstone building?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So the drive is uneventful, and it's getting to be about 4:30, 4:45 when you guys get back. Of course, this area of Sioux City at this time of night or early morning, it's incredibly dead. You do hear, the buzz of, some electronics, like the signage in different bars kind of shorten out here and there, as is, normal, with no other noise around. It's very pronounced. But you get out and you enter through the back of the building, and I'm assuming you're heading up to the penthouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
For a brief meeting before bed.
Okay.
And I just wanted to make sure that the ghoul is still where he's supposed to be.
Alright, so we'll say the coterie does pass by Kevin's apartment. And
Step up from a broom closet or to the stairs.
I'm imagining a Harry Potter situation.
Exactly.
and Zeke himself isn't standing guard outside of the apartment, but you do recognize this is one of Zeke's acquaintances. He doesn't know the actual story of what's going on with the coterie itself. He doesn't know anything, we'll say masquerade level of danger. All he knows is that the three of you are to be listened to, and orders are to be followed, no ifs, ands, or buts. So, he nods to you as the three of you approach. Yeah, he's been quiet. He's been not really doing much of anything. I can hear him moving around in there, but yeah, there's nothing. He hasn't tried the door. I haven't heard him, banging anything around. So I think he's square for the time being.
When's the last time you saw him?
Oh, it's shift change?
Yeah.
So that would have been 2 hours ago? You want me to poke my head in and take a look?
I'll pop in.
Okay. Flint, you would...
I'll go in with them.
I'm not going.
I'm just opening the door, just looking for him.
I'm just leaning against the wall outside, just over it.
Okay. Alright, so Flint, you open the door and you do see Kevin. He's just kind of sitting there in a corner. Somehow he found a pencil, or had a pencil on him, but he's been writing on the walls and, doing some crude, sketch work. He hears the door opening and looks at you. Hey, how's it going?
What you working on?
Stuff.
All right. We'll find out about your stuff tomorrow as well.
Whatever, man. I just work here.
Wait. What did he say?
He's working on stuff.
But the last part.
He works here. He's cheap labor now.
How soon before sunrise?
You got about an hour and a half.
I'm going in.
All right. So, Francis, as you enter, you do get a much better glimpse at the artwork that Kevin's been producing. He is currently in the middle of drawing a caricature of the local mayor, and he's also added some artistic flourishes in the clothing department, and rather the lack thereof. And the level of detail that he's producing is it's actually, if it weren't conditions aside, this would actually be impressive work. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Fucking bored, dude. What do you expect? Yeah, that ain't right. There we go. So, what's up?
How are you doing as far as feeling wise?
Fine. Getting the hookup, earlier. I'm good for a while. Is there any chance that I could get some some pizza delivered tomorrow? The bread and water diet here is not to my liking, and I'm sure you guys can afford to spring for some Little Caesars at the very least.
I'll think about it.
All right, cool. And he goes back to his artistically obscene caricature of the mayor.
Without making too much of a show about it, I want to just do a quick visual glance at the windows to see if he's tried getting out.
Nope. It appears that the ass kicking he got earlier, it drove the point home. Everything appears to be undisturbed, and as it was after Zeke got everything tightened up in here.
Okay. I'll leave the room. I'll go back to the hallway join the rest of the coterie.
Okay.
He's actually quite the artist.
Good for him.
Rachel does not like the school.
Can we please go home now, please?
Yeah, well, we can confer in the penthouse.
All right, so you continue your trek up to the penthouse. You do pass by Rachel's apartment, and as you pass by the door, you hear a from the inside.
You gonna get that?
Who you keeping in there?
No one's in there. Oh, I
Open the door.
I'm opening it.
Rachel, as you open the door, you get hit by a cold blast of air. Being kindred, I mean, the cold doesn't cause you physical discomfort or pain. It's just the mere shock and sensation of the sudden cold. It does catch you off guard.
I have to figure this out.
The room appears to be as you left it, at least so far.
Okay. I'll be here soon enough, and I just close the door and go with them to the...
You're talking to it now?
I'm not talking to it. I'm talking to myself.
Well, that just makes you
You I mean, you can see how it gets kind of hard to tell whether you're talking to yourself or you're talking to the ghost that's inhabiting your apartment.
I don't really know what's going on. I'm not so quick to label it as some wayward spirit. I don't really know what it is yet. It's yet to be determined.
Okay.
I call it the Lady in Red.
The Lady in Red.
Yes, I think it sounds like a good ghost spirit, don't you think? A Lady in Red.
I'm not standing here anymore. Let's go to the penthouse, please.
All right, so you enter the penthouse, and you open the door, and standing in the middle of the penthouse is Prince Jimenez. Oh, thank you for joining me tonight. How was your evening?
Interesting.
Prince, it's been one.
It was very eventful, Prince Jimenez.
Oh, and I'm sure whatever it was, you've handled it with the usual panache that I've come to expect from you all.
Of course, Prince.
And he sits down on, like, right in the middle of the couch. And he isn't so gauche as to put his feet up on the coffee table, but he's sprawled. He's sprawled on this couch, and it looks like he's mentally putting his feet there on the coffee table. So, the night finds you all well, though, otherwise?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, good. He reaches inside his jacket, and he produces a business card and just puts it on the coffee table. So I've got the task for you. Tomorrow night I have a previous engagement that is going to take up my time, and I will not be able to, how do they say, get out of it. So I am tasking you with entertaining a VIP from outside of the city. I've done business with them in the past, and in these trying and troubled times, there's certain things that need to be handled very carefully, and I'm leaving it in your in this coterie's capable hands to see to it that this matter is handled swiftly and discreetly. You will basically be speaking for me when dealing with this individual, but do not think that you can make any sort of demands on them. Just know that I trust you to make the correct decision for my city and for your domain. The individual will be stopping by this establishment tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. So please make yourselves available.
No problem.
Of course, Prince. We'd be honored to take this on.
So what happened with the riffraff from the art gallery?
Under lock and key.
Good. See to it that that does not happen again.
It will not.
I'm trusting the three of you to make sure that the ghoul is kept in one piece, and if not one whole piece, then several smaller composite pieces held together in a something resembling a humanoid figure. That's you can meet this request. Yes.
Yes.
If it has a heartbeat, we can keep it a human, so...
It's a good point. So, but, yes, please, I cannot stress this enough. Tomorrow night's gathering needs to be very, very delicately handled and very quiet. So... he gets up and he walks over to where you store this is basically the wet bar for the kindred visiting, and he just reaches in, helps himself, takes a little sip. You need to better stock, please. He finishes it. You've actually got like brandy snifters.
Yeah.
And but he drains the cup and he places it, upside down on a black linen napkin. But please, after the business is handled tomorrow night, please get back to me, and we will touch base.
Sounds good.
Of course.
Okay. Good evening. And he turns and leaves the penthouse, closes the door quietly behind him.
Well,
did any of you know that he was going to be here?
no.
Oh.
I would have gotten things better prepared if I had known.
I mean, come on. He did it on purpose.
I think our stash is pretty good.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's not as fresh as you and I would like it, but
It is what it is.
Are you two going to be able to handle delicate and quiet tomorrow?
Me? Of course. I'm offended.
Stop.
You know I am when I'm on the job.
serious. We're being
I am too.
asked by the prince here.
I mean, it's in my blood.
Fair enough.
I mean, yes, I'm a
Your
little
past-
rough around the
your past-
edges.
Yes, your past would.
I'm a little
No,
rough around the
suggest-
edges.
You play against your nature at times.
And
I walk a fine line.
And Flint's just sitting here going, internal monologue is just, yup. So, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this scene. You all retire to your respective havens. Rachel, your haven is it's the entire place is cold, but any attempts to use sense the unseen will result in we'll say it's going to be like you are like walking inside of a fog machine.
Huh, okay.
Francis and Flint, you all go to your own havens. Nothing untoward. Everything appears to be fine and in order. So from here, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap the night. The sun rises, and the dreamless undead sleep takes you all eventually. Maybe when you all were younger, you tried your best to fight it, but inevitably the sun always wins in the end. The sun sets, the city has progressed forward in many different ways, some unseen, some seen. But once the sun clears the horizon, you all awaken. And your beasts immediately demand their due. Go ahead and make your rouse checks.
Oh, I failed.
Ooh. Okay. Francis?
6 is a success.
Yes. And Flint?
A 1 is not a success, and I am hungry.
Okay, so current hunger scores. Rachel is hunger 2.
Yep.
Francis is hunger 2.
Yep.
And Flint is hunger 2 as well.
Hunger 3.
Hunger 3.
No.
And so Flint, you might always be a little bit groggy when you awaken for the night, and maybe kindred don't necessarily dream when the sun is up. They're effectively dead, but maybe every once in a while as your eyes open, you get flashbacks from your time spent in the jungle. And it always dredges up some very unpleasant memories. But the beast is always there, snarling at you from the shadows in the underbrush. It's time. Come on. Feed me now.
That was going to be a long day.
The coterie gathers in the penthouse. Zeke is waiting for you all. It appears that Zeke's maybe gotten the first decent night's sleep in quite some time. But he greets you all as you enter with a smile. Oh, good evening, sirs, madam.
Evening, Zeke.
Zeke.
Howdy.
So it's been brought to my attention that we are to be expecting company tonight. Yes.
That's correct.
Of the highest level.
Yes. Some of Prince Jimenez's staff. We coordinate, and they fill me in on the pertinent details as it relates to how I can best serve the coterie and vicariously the prince in that manner as well. So I have prepared a secluded VIP booth downstairs in the bar. I will make sure that we have fresh refreshments up here as well if our guest does require. As an aside, it's been a very strict policy down below in the bar that there's to be no feeding at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just dealing with the clientele that you all have. It's best that the masquerade is maintained as closely as possible downstairs.
I'm honestly wondering if we shouldn't just close down the entire establishment to give this guy the full VIP experience, and that way we can talk discreetly amongst ourselves and not have to worry about anything. We can afford the night.
Well, yes, we can. However, it's I would advise against it. This it wouldn't be good for long term.
Gotcha.
There's a special showing at the art gallery tonight, and afterwards, certain. So if it were any other night, sir, by all means, I would acquiesce. But it would be detrimental if we did not provide our services.
Very true.
For the Prince Jimenez's favored clientele.
Yes.
So, now the individuals, the individual should be contacting me shortly. Or people associated with them will be contacting me shortly, and then I will let you know when we have arrived, or when they have arrived. Is there anything that requires my immediate attention before this?
I just had how's our other guest? How do you do during daytime?
He was fine. We dropped off a fresh bag of groceries, and he muttered something about wanting a goddamn pizza.
Now,
Can we just get him a pizza?
I was gonna... Rachel. I was going to say that last night he requested a pizza. He was polite about it to me. With him being rude to... With him putting it rudely like that, I'm second guessing. But I have plans for him. A $5 pizza. I don't even care if you go get a fucking DiGiorno and cook it in the oven and give it to him.
All I mean is that he's obviously valuable to the prince in some way, so it's in our best interest to take care of him in some manner, which is why...
Oh, no. Yeah, I have plans for him, so yes, let's get him a pizza.
Okay, yeah.
I will. I'll have someone. I'll have someone go to Little Caesars and get him a pizza.
No breadsticks.
Okay. This stream brought to you by Little Caesars. We have a corporate sponsor.
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
All right, hold on. I need a drink, folks. So, the coterie has some time to kill before the VIP arrives. No one actually looked at the business card last night.
I totally
really didn't give us a chance.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
I forgot. You said it and laid it down, and then I just...
Okay.
It was in my mind, but yeah, we kind of progressed through things pretty fast. But no, yes,
I did push you all. Yeah.
I'll say that Francis notices that the card is still on the coffee table, and I'll go and pick it up and look at it.
Okay. The name on the card is... let's see here. I've got this over here on this separate sheet of paper. Okay, it is Vincent Amara, Amara, and there's no phone number, but it's a very artisanal business card. It's made out of the linen count in this paper. I
wish I knew American Psycho more. I was gonna start.
But no, it's the business card is just solid enough to maintain its rigidity, but it is super soft to the touch. But it's Vincent Amara, and underneath it, Antiquities and Oddities.
Interesting.
What does it say, Francis?
Vincent Amara, Antiquities and Oddities.
Ooh, very interesting.
That's my thoughts exactly.
Is that who we're meeting, do you think?
I mean, it'd have to be. That's what the prince left behind. Are we gonna open up like a flea market?
Do you really think it's something that pedestrian?
A high-scale flea market?
I'm sure he's got some books. I have to talk to him about that.
I just want to know what kind of oddities he deals in.
Right? I mean, yeah. Like...
Let's see here.
I was gonna say, is there...
Yeah. Let's see. I want you all...
The coterie does a Google.
Hey, Google. Oh, I just set off my fucking phone.
I was gonna say, don't do that. I was just gonna say.
Now they're all listening in to us.
Alexa, play Baby Shark.
Oh, Lord.
Oh. Okay. Greg, I've got information for you later.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do intelligence and either occult or academics, whichever of those is higher.
So I'll be rolling 2, and they're both hunger dice.
You can, if you want to opt out of this roll, you can.
Okay, I'm rolling.
I'll just let Rachel fill us in.
I got a 3.
Okay.
So remind me what happens when you roll a 10.
Just 110?
No, I have several.
2 tens equals a double, so it'd be 2 would be 4 successes.
So then I have another one as well.
So that'd just be 5 successes.
So 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 6 successes then.
All right.
Oh,
Are
shit.
any of those 10s on your hunger dice?
No.
Ooh. Okay. Lucky.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I knew that one.
All right. So Flint, you've heard the name mentioned. You know that they're kindred, and they deal in some pretty, now by mortal standards it'd be pretty creepy stuff, but yeah, nothing, nothing really jumps out at you.
Okay.
Rachel, you know that this individual is a Ventrue,
Okay.
and they've got a little bit of a little bit of a gray streak going with the Camarilla right now. But he's not entirely outside of the Ivory Tower's good graces.
Okay.
And that might be why Jimenez wants this dealt with quietly.
Yeah.
And they tend to deal in, we'll say, semi-supernatural artifacts. Nothing really in particular, like nothing like kindred specific. But
Okay.
very much like a, hey, yeah, like the whole like the Annabelle doll.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, he's probably got something like that rolling around in his personal stash.
So he is gaunt from needful things.
Yeah. Without,
Yeah.
So
Well-
that is what Rachel knows.
I mean, I don't know. Do you? So what do you know, Rachel?
So I do remember a couple of things. It's your cousin, Francis. A cousin
Okay.
of yours. So hopefully you two will have some immediate common ground. That's an advantage. He is kindred, obviously. He deals in like semi-supernatural items, nothing kindred specific, but
Spooky shit.
haunted dolls and the like.
Ooh.
And he's Camarilla adjacent. He's not exactly fully with us here on the tower. So, which is probably why the prince would like this handled with discretion.
Understandable.
But
I
I'm
mean,
sure I can only imagine the things that this man knows.
I mean, I'd see why the prince, still wants some sort of working relations with it. They're like, I mean, I've lived on both sides of the law. I mean, the gray is where you live.
Well, even better then. You'll have
Yeah.
even more in common.
I know. I'm very much looking forward to this conversation.
I'm excited to see your interaction.
And that is where we'll
And I
take
just lagged out a little bit.
No, you're fine. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take our break here. So we'll go ahead and give everyone a nice little 10-minute break for those of you watching the stream. And we will be back with Venture Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. So the coterie is going through their final preparations to do the meet and greet with the VIP. What is Rachel and company wearing tonight for this meeting?
I
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say sorry. I didn't
Well,
mean to
let's just do it like we do the intros. Let's do Rachel,
Yeah.
Francis, and
Cool.
then Flint.
Good call. I'm wearing my typical black turtleneck, but instead of like the cotton black shawl with the fringe, it's more like a black cashmere. It only has like there's not really a fringe on it. It's kind of a little bit more conservative, high end. Uh, and since I'm not barefoot, though I'd prefer to be, I'm wearing like these black ballet flats. So not really practical for walking anywhere, but kind of the least barrier between my feet and the ground. And my typical long black kind of silky skirt.
Okay.
Francis is going to break out as rarely seen, very expensive suit. It's going to be all black, just really sharp. It's kind of like a satin type finish. It's not very glossy, but it's not dull. Black cotton square, pocket square. Very expensive, gaudy looking watch on his wrist. And yeah, I mean, all dappered the fuck out.
And Flint.
Flint's wearing black dicky pants and just kind of almost looks like a work shirt, but it's just a little bit nicer to a collared shirt. That's about as nice as he's going to get.
Okay. All right. So the three of you are kind of tucked back in the VIP area that Zeke has prepared. He's made a point to, while the place is still open, he's moved around some of the freestanding tables, and he's roped off any nearby snugs or booths that may be near. It's a very very, very cushiony like maroon like stuffed leather, but it's not, it's very smooth and silky. It's not like the kind where it's not like vinyl where you might make obscene
Fart
sounds. Yeah, fart sounds getting up out of it. Yep. And there is a little electric candle going in the middle of the table. Zeke texts you all saying, "Okay, we're on our way in," and Zeke enters, followed by a man. He's got salt and pepper hair, and it's slicked back. What appears to be a very we'll say inconspicuous earring, actually in the in the top left part of his ear. No facial hair. He is dressed in a we'll say it's not like cash green, and it's not quite like as dark as olive. It's a shade in between there, with a cream colored dress shirt, and then a tie that matches the shade of his suit, and then a black vest underneath that. Very, very expensive looking shoes, and they are polished to a mirror shine. He's carrying with him a black leather briefcase and a walking stick. Black, black wood, or at least black, varnish on the wood, with a some kind of a, you don't know if it's steel or polished silver for the knob on the top. But Zeke escorts the gentleman in, and he bows to the three of you and bows again to the man, gestures silently, and then gets the hell out of Dodge. The man remains standing and is just kind of looking at you all, and I'm assuming you all stand to greet him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good evening. I'm Vincent Amara. I've been told that our mutual, we'll say acquaintance, was not able to meet with me tonight, and so he's sent you here instead. Is that an accurate read on the situation here?
That is a very accurate read, cousin. And I bow, and my name is Francis Jacobs.
And he looks at the other two of you here.
Hello, Mr. Amara. My name is Rachel. We're so pleased to have you this evening.
And he's looking at Flint kind of like, this motherfucker.
Mr. Mar, my name is Flint Cole, and I'll be with you for this evening as well.
Very well. Let's get down to business, as they say.
And I gesture to the seat, and I wait until he's seated before I sit.
Okay. So, I have to say, this is a very well-appointed establishment. This is very, very, very on the up and up. I'm impressed.
Thank you. We work very hard to make it this way, and like I strive to kind of get that ambiance I used to see back in the day, and I like what I like.
Your man seems to be properly trained and educated.
Flint? Yeah.
No, I was referring to the ghoul.
Oh, yeah. No, he does good work for us.
He's a wonderful asset.
Yes.
I'm well trained too.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. So, he puts the briefcase down on the table, and he he enters the combination and undoes the latches, and of course they snap open like a gunshot, and it actually does draw the attention of some of the patrons. But he opens it, and he pulls out what appear to be a stack of pictures. Sets them aside, closes the briefcase, and then puts it down. So, the reason I'm here tonight is I've got a proposition for Prince Jimenez. I've not been formally, or I haven't formally presented myself to him and the rest of the court. But I prefer that remains as unofficial as possible for various reasons. So he slides the pictures out over so everyone can look at them. It's come to my attention that there are certain texts and manuscripts being circulated among some of the more religiously minded kindred here in the States, and I would like to obtain as many of these documents as possible. And you can see in the photos, there's different there are different pictures of actual pages of text. Some of them are written in different occult symbols, Some of it's, just, handwritten in, you see, it's probably Latin. There's probably some Greek. Could be Hebrew, could be Arabic. It's hard to tell. But as far as I know, there are no copies of any of the texts that I'm actually seeking physically here at this point in time. But I've been made aware of what the Camarilla is trying to do here in the city, and an environment like this is, we'll say, fertile ground for distribution networks of different things. It's been brought to my attention that someone from the Hecata is currently running the circulatory system here. Is that an accurate assessment?
That's my understanding.
Alright, so that's a prime example of what the conditions the Camarilla is creating that is a byproduct. It's not unreasonable to think that if there aren't any copies here now, there will be copies and artifacts being smuggled in and out of your city in the near future. And I've got a habit of getting what I want, and I just need to know if this is something that Prince Jimenez would be, if he's not interested in actively participating, I would at least want him to turn a blind eye to my activities. Is this something that you think he would agree to?
Well, I feel as though I need to know more about the nature of the collection of these texts. What is the purpose for which they're being collected?
Well, there's a market for old historical texts and documents as far as kindred history is concerned. I act as I procure these items, and I see to it that they get to where they need to go.
So this is more of a business dealing than anything else, and you wish to conduct it safely with the prince's blessing or possibly participation.
That is an accurate assessment, Miss DeWitt. Yes.
Interesting. So, business, and I look at Francis. What do you think?
I think, the prince could be open to such things. I mean
he's...
I was going to say, it's a pretty big risk on his part. I mean, clearly, it's not completely on the up and up with the ivory tower. So, I mean, there is some risk factors on our end if we proceed with things.
I will say that because of the nature of what's going on in the city, how it's the structure of it and the way that it's become a bit of a hub, this circulation will probably take place regardless of what we say or think, or so it makes more sense to me to have it at least officially, if not quietly, sanctioned. here. So this makes sense to me.
Now, I want to be, completely and totally, well, I'm going to use the H word, honest. I mean, a lot of these texts, the Camarilla themselves would like to see these documents actively destroyed. There's some very sensitive information that the Camarilla may or may not want to see eradicated. There's also especially in recent nights, there's been an uptick in different cults and different religious organizations sprouting up within kindred society that the Camarilla would not like to see become active players in the political landscape. So that is my primary concern, is just making sure that I'm sure Prince Jimenez himself is well aware of the risks involved with this arrangement, and I would not expect you two. He's focusing more on Rachel and Francis there as he says that. And yeah, Flint's this motherfucker filing it away. But I would not expect the two of you to speak for Prince Jimenez immediately. And I understand that you're doing the prince's grunt work that he doesn't want to necessarily be involved in. I mean, if I were him, I wouldn't want to be seen associating with me. It's I know my reputation, and I know of where I sit. As far
We
as
all have reputations.
Well, that's a very, very, very true assessment. But some are a little bit more colorful than others. Yes.
Yeah.
So, you can keep the photos. I've got the originals, the actual originals, safely tucked away where they need to be. But this is just an example of the kind of material that I'm looking for. So, by all means, if you need to confer with your prince.
Oh, we for sure will. I mean, well, we can do a lot on the prince's behalf. It's can't make any rash decisions without conferring with him. But we will for sure run this up to him as soon as possible. And I think it's been a pleasure meeting you tonight.
Likewise. So
I see Flint's kind of soury expression, and I look over at him. What are your thoughts on this, Mr. Cole?
I think you're right on the situation at hand, being how our traffic is volumed up a little bit. There is going to be some issues here and there. I think it is something that needs to be controlled. But, of course, when we're talking to the prince, he'll understand the risk, but he may want to know what the reward is as well.
And Vincent actually seems taken aback by that. Like, someone actually had the guts to ask this question. Well, Mr. Cole, the rewards would be, well, I'll be perfectly honest, boons. For every we'll say substantial document that comes my way, or I am allowed to collect, it's is basically going to be a bounty per document.
And I kind of figured that was going to be the case. That's why I didn't really ask.
I'm sure. Now, these boons, I mean, if we're going to be dealing with things as droll as cash, by all means, I'm more than happy to accommodate those arrangements. But a man in my position, I deal in many things, not necessarily antiquities and oddities as my... I'm assuming you got my card.
Oh yeah, very nice.
I have a way of getting people what they want, and I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty or have other people get their hands dirty on my behest to make these connections happen.
I know exactly how you feel.
So tell Prince Jimenez I expect an answer by the end of the week.
I think that's more than reasonable.
And if he, I will be courteous, and I will just mention the elephant in the room. If he doesn't want to deal with me directly and wants to rely upon the three of you as intermediaries, I will be more than happy to accept that arrangement.
Okay.
I'm happy to hear that. Now, I do wonder if we could put this particular bit of business aside, and I might ask you something that pertains to something I personally am doing, if you field a question from me.
I'm interested. What do you wish to discuss?
Well, I know a bit of your reputation in your dealings with certain things of the nature of in the photographs, and, you know, semi-supernatural items. I do seem to have some kind of... I'm dealing with an unknown presence. And so far, my particular set of knowledge and skills has been unable to intervene in any way. And I'm blocked from gaining more knowledge of it at this time. And I do wonder if there's someone you know, or a resource you have, or a text that might be floating around that I could be privy to its content that may help me in this situation.
Well, actually, I've got no problem arranging this exchange. I mean, you are familiar with the reputation that the Hecata have, yes?
Yes. I mean, I've only started looking into them fairly recently, but
You probably know them better as the Giovanni.
right.
So them calling themselves the Hecata, that's a whole other mess that I choose not to involve myself in. But if you want, I can definitely arrange a meeting between you and Ms. Elisabetta. She's, as I said earlier, she is the circulatory system representative here. I can arrange that in exchange for let's see, how about a minor boon?
I think that's quite acceptable.
Okay. Well, I will get back to you once I've reached out to Ms. Giovanni, and I will let her know of your particular problem, and I'm sure that it will be like tossing opium at a fiend. She'll be on it relatively quick.
At your convenience, of course.
Of course. Well, I must depart, and I will tell Prince Jimenez I will be patiently but eagerly awaiting his reply and any other arrangements that he wishes to make. And be sure to stress once again, I have no problem with the three of you acting as intermediaries. If he doesn't want to sully his public image by being associated with me. Of course, that does mean the three of you are going to have to take that particular hit, but
I'm sure it's not the first time any of our reputations has been sullied in some way.
Nail on the head. Nail on the head. Well, and he gets up, he grabs his stick and picks up his briefcase. I bid you all good night, and I will not be so gauche as to ask you for permission to feed here in your establishment, and I will find my entertainment elsewhere this evening. Good evening. And he leaves. I'm assuming the three of you are going to make a beeline up to the penthouse?
For sure.
Yeah.
I want to be the one that takes the pictures. And
Sure.
let's just say I have like a small black clutch. I just put it in there.
Okay. And you will be given ample time to review them.
Yeah.
At your leisure.
Cool.
So we are moving the scene up to the penthouse. Zeke is not currently present, so it's just the three of you. You don't have any uninvited guests or unexpected visitors here currently.
This time.
So by all means.
Well, I think that went quite well.
I was going to say the same thing. You took
I'm
one
very
hit from
pleased.
off.
Dibs if we have to kill him.
What about that interaction suggested that would be the outcome?
I don't like him.
It's in his nature. I mean,
What is it that you don't like about him?
I don't know. I don't like him. You don't like me, I don't like him.
I don't know that he didn't like you. You do cut a bit of an imposing figure.
Well, I'm not saying kill him now. I'm just saying if we have to.
Oh my god. Okay.
The look on your face. that was
Yeah.
That was awesome. Thank you. That made my night.
But I feel invigorated. Maybe I will finally be able to solve this mystery of my haven and finally have some quiet
I
or
mean, I'm happy for you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's becoming a nuisance. Like, I'm just glad I don't live below you.
yeah, I know it's becoming a problem, and like I said, I've hit a bit of a blockade, so it felt like a natural in with this
Yeah.
guy. And a minor boon, sure, whatever, I can do that.
Hopefully it's worth it.
If it brings me 1 or 2 steps closer to eradicating the presence in my home, it's worth it to me. Because I'm frankly not getting my best work done there. And it's very important to me to have a clear space to think.
What if you find out, though, that this entity is trying to reach out for you to help and you just want to eradicate it?
I don't mean
the one
eradicate.
now?
Okay, maybe eradicate was too strong a word. Usher out gently the presence from my home. Whatever the case may be. I don't know who or what it is. It's, like you said, it's more of a nuisance than something potentially malicious. I feel like I'm just continuously being pranked.
Lead it to a card. Go for a drive.
You are hungry, aren't you?
It's not your sick
Yeah,
child dog.
I may have to excuse myself.
I know how you feel. I'm not quite at your level yet, but I can tell you are hungry.
With Francis and Flint having we'll say similar predilections, Maybe the two of you have been together for a while compared to Rachel, who's, even at 10 years, she's still, the new kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flint and Francis can definitely pick up when the other one's getting hangry.
Oh, I honestly feel like we've spent enough time together that we probably go on hunting trips with each other.
Especially, well, like I said, you guys share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you need to excuse yourself, Clint?
I might. Do we have more business to do here?
I think we should try.
What was that you cut out?
Given the. Sorry. I was going to say, before we go about doing our own things, I feel like maybe we should give the Prince a call, see if he is available to discuss things. I know he had plans going on, but how much of those plans were him not wanting to actually be involved with this guy?
I don't know that we need to bother him this night, especially. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe just.
We'll send him an email.
We can't do that. Maybe is there someone beneath him we can give a call just to see what the prince is up to, just to see if it'd be a good idea.
Well, there is Zeke, who does have contact with Jimenez's staff. So you can definitely have Zeke put feelers out.
We'll put Zeke on it. We'll put Zeke on it.
And
sounds like a good idea.
I got Zeke on it.
And this could be something as simple as, just having, just texting Zeke, be like, need to talk to Big Man. Make arrangements.
I'll do that.
Okay.
People.
And you get a thumbs up emoji sent back in return. So Zeke will make the arrangements for conferring with Prince Jimenez. So where does the coterie sit? Rachel's got some goodies to look over, and I think
I feel like
Flint's needing to get some gas in the tank, and I think Francis, would you probably want to ride along with Flint? And
oh, for sure. I'm a little hungry. I could go for a top off.
We'll go for a simple smash and grab.
Yeah. I've actually been looking for this occasion to pop up.
So, we'll deal with Rachel and her studying of the pictures, and then we'll move over into Francis and Flint's hunting trip. So, Rachel, are you going to be taking the pictures back to your haven, or are you going to just study them here in the penthouse?
I kind of have the presence on my mind, so I'm just gonna stay in the penthouse.
Okay. All right. I want you to go ahead and roll. Let's see here. I'm gonna have you do. We'll do a 3 and out. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, first thing, to identify the different languages and whatnot, I'm gonna want you to do intelligence and academics.
Okay. I'm gonna burn a willpower.
Okay.
I just want more. More. Gimme. Okay. Cool. That worked out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 successes.
Okay. So, you've determined that the one text is actually in Arabic, not Hebrew.
Okay.
And the others, one of them is definitely Latin,
Okay.
and there's another in Greek, and then the last one, it's probably if it's something that excuse me, you don't we'll say readily know what it is. You're gonna have to probably do some more independent research. The symbols are familiar, but it's nothing that you would know off the top of your head. Like you've probably like studying through different grimoires and whatnot during your time as a Tremere. Like, oh yeah, like, hey, I think I know the text that these symbols come from. So
Okay.
go ahead and do let's do it. You can't easily translate the Arabic and the Greek. That's going to require some extra time, but you probably would be able to start making heads or tails of the Latin. So go ahead and do intelligence and academics again, please.
Okay. Oh, lordy, 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 Lou. Jeez Louise. I'm gonna burn another willpower.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just...
Ouch.
Yeah. It happens. Okay. Another 5.
Okay. Alright. Oh yeah, this is... Yeah, you can definitely... On the spot, you can read it without any problem.
Yeah.
Alright. And one last roll, intelligence and occult.
Just okay. Ah. I just have so many dice. Losing track. Okay, I got 4.
Okay. Alright, so the Latin text does appear to be, at least assuming that this is an actual full color photo, this is probably blood used for the ink on the parchment.
Mm.
Just, once you've seen that signature brown rust, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that's what we're dealing with, one of those books. And the book mentions something about a garden and Lilith.
Oh shit.
And this appears to be some kind of a like a ritual or a prayer, talking about through pain and blood we are purified and made clean.
Okay. Now, so there are 4 total photos.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll put them back in my clutch for now.
Okay.
And I will then probably somewhat reluctantly head back up to my haven.
Okay. All right, and we'll say you probably do have, and this will be done like off screen, but you will have access to the text in your haven that you can use to decipher the one.
Right.
Yeah.
I was hoping so. Okay, cool.
All right, so Flint and Francis, I'm assuming that we are in Flint's pickup.
Yes, and I have changed out of my suit and into dark wash jeans and dark long sleeve shirt.
Okay. All right, so this is something that the two of you this is the quality bonding time where Francis doesn't necessarily have to feel like he's having to put up a front. And
It's like fishing.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a fishing trip for Flint and Francis.
Boys' night.
Good old boys going out and hunting,
Mhm.
cracking some natty lights.
Ew.
So, let's see here, Flint.
Whoa.
You've probably I'm assuming you're trying to keep as low profile as possible.
Yeah, we're driving. We're kind of checking alleyways and the
And-
places where the light doesn't really hit as much, but might be populated with a couple people.
Mhm. Up to no good.
Up to no good.
Up to no good, and
Started
preferably
making trouble
drunk
in my neighborhood.
because my clan bane is I can only drink from drunken mortals. So
Hmm. So yeah, you're gonna have fun with this. All right, so let's go ahead and do a for Flint here. Let's go ahead and do a resolve and streetwise.
Go for it.
And Francis, I'm assuming you're helping. Go ahead and add 1 to your die pool, Flint.
Whoop. Three.
Okay. You're having to go a little bit outside of your normal hunting grounds. You're actually kind of cruising through one of the more seedier parts of the west side. But it looks like
I was actually gonna say like the old Blue Moon area.
Blue Mill, you mean?
Blue Mill,
Yeah.
that's immediately popped in my mind.
So yes, there in this part of town, there's like a neighborhood bar every couple of blocks.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you do manage to find what you think would probably be an appropriate spot to put some feelers out. So you park the truck, and the two of you are on foot, kind of poking around in some of these alleys here. Let's see. I'm actually gonna do one of these numbers.
I'm just assuming you're gonna approach the alleyway like in West Side Story and just be like da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
And I love how we all of us did the
Yeah,
little-
like every single one of us. So good. Aw, Chip is so good.
Okay. You've actually discovered someone, they're wearing scruffy work clothes. Maybe something similar to what Flint was wearing earlier during the meeting with Mr. Amara, but these are definitely well-worn work clothes, and the big, huge, like steel toe shit kicker work boots. But you see him kind of leaning up against a wall, kind of tucked back behind a dumpster. You're assuming that he's relieving himself here, and this is right next door, or in an alley right along one of these little skeezy, seedy neighborhood dive bars.
Soup's on.
It was just the one.
Yeah, just the one guy.
Oh.
I look at Flint like, you're hungrier than I am. It's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna need this one a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so Francis, are you going to like maybe keep watch?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I'm gonna stay a close enough distance where if shit goes south, I will be nearby, but I'm not gonna be like up on his business while it's going down.
Okay. All right, Francis, I want you to go ahead and roll. Let's see. You're also going to do resolve and streetwise, please.
It's almost like I built this character for this.
Almost.
Two successes.
Okay. I'll determine that that's enough to where you'll have ample warning in case something, not necessarily if something goes amiss down in the alley behind you, but if there's a looky-loo,
Okay.
it's going to be getting a little too close. All right, Flint. Your beast knows that it's finally going to get what it wants. And as you're starting to formulate in your head, you get those flashbacks again.
Shit.
Is it time? Let's fucking do this. All right, so Flint, how are you gonna handle this?
Well, with my nimble cat's grace, I'm going to avoid anything that will make noise. I will sneak up behind the urinating victim, and I will slam his head into the wall. Hard enough to knock him out, but not to try to kill him.
Jesus.
Okay. Let's go ahead.
Same thoughts.
I'm gonna make you roll Dex and Stealth, and I'm gonna give you. I mean, this is a dirty alley. You know, I mean, this. Yeah, being stealthy is not gonna be an automatic here with Cat's Grace.
I do have a specialty of silent movement and stealth.
Okay, so that's gonna give you one extra die, and I'm going to, with Cat's Grace, I'm gonna lower the difficulty. We're looking for 2 successes.
Oh, you can do it.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay, easy peasy. So maybe some of your old military training kicks in, and it's just enough to keep things from coming to the surface, but you're able to clamp down on the flashbacks. You reach forward, and before the guy even knows what's going on, you've got your hands wrenched in his hair, and it's a simple forward and or back and
A little back and forth like pinball.
Yep.
Yep.
And you hear the sound of the guy's nose breaking as it impacts against the wall, and he crumples to the alley beneath your feet. And he actually did leave a spray of blood on the brick.
Nice. Well, move his neck. So,
Oh no.
The network's cutting out.
No!
Oh no! God
Oh,
damn it!
That was like the literal word. Okay, wait.
Anytime.
It's back now.
I'm here,
Okay.
We didn't hear
chomping
anything.
down on the neck. Harp.
Okay.
And I see this out of the corner of my eye, and I just nod in approval.
All right. So, Flint, are you? You're at 3 hunger. What are you wanting to go down to?
We're gonna drink. We're gonna get down to 1. I'm gonna take 2 points off.
Okay. So, shortly after you start your meal up here, you do start to feel the effects of the different things that this man has in his system. There's definitely he's had his fair share of alcohol for the evening, and there might be there's some kind of a stimulant mixed in here too, but it's kind of hard to really pinpoint what might be the cause. But your beast is not fully sated, but it's enough to shut it up, at least for now.
I will finish up. I will lick the wound. I will grab his wallet. I will take his driver's license. I will check for cash, and I'll chuck the wallet across the alleyway.
Okay. There was 40 in cash in the wallet.
Pocket it.
Picture of 2 kids as well. Driver's license, expired credit card.
We'll just take the driver's license. We'll keep the family memento in there. I just want his money in his card.
Okay. All right. So Flint, you rejoined Francis.
Well, have fun.
That was well needed.
Yeah, I can tell.
These guys know how to party.
Oh, fuck, yes they do.
Do we want to chill and wait, or is there a spot you want to go to?
I'm sure we could find a place nearby. I mean, I don't want to be staying in this area. I mean, if there's one, there's going to be others, and I know we can take on a few. I don't want to expend more energy than needed, so.
I hear you.
All right. We'll make this simple. One more resolve and streetwise roll. Francis.
I'll help.
Okay.
So.
Extra die, Francis.
Yep. 3 successes.
Like you said, this neighborhood's rife with it. Where there's one, there's others. You actually, as you were getting back to the pickup, you hear some yelling and screaming a couple of blocks down, and this neighborhood, yeah, it's gonna be. You might have a window here that could be easy pickings.
I pursue.
Okay. So, are the 2 of you going on foot?
Close enough.
Yeah.
Alright, so, you walk, and in this neighborhood, it's common to have an old house that's been turned into like 3 or 4 different apartments, and the yelling and screaming is actually coming from inside the open doorway of one of these common houses, and you see 2 guys arguing with each other. It's dimly lit.
Can I hear what they're yelling about?
they're arguing over they're arguing over who slept with whose wife.
Oh shit.
Whether or not they're gonna be they're gonna fit your predilection, though, it's hard to tell. At least right now, they're not blatantly intoxicated.
Okay.
And we've lost Steve. For the looks of it, Steve's just
I'm
freeze
still
frame.
here a bit. I can't hear.
Okay. Oh no.
I'm hiding. I'm
Okay.
here. I'm
Okay.
gonna.
All right. So, Francis, are you gonna take your shot?
Yeah. So they're both inside.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he slept with his wife, and just like yell at him to try to get their attention.
They both turn around and like, "Who the fuck are you? Man, mind your own fucking business."
Hey, I'm just saying what I saw.
Oh yeah? What exactly did you see? And
I saw.
then one of them starts to run up on you. Not like run up on you, but he's looking like he's ready to throw hands.
Oh yeah, I was in the neighborhood. I saw your car at his house.
Yeah, how do you know what fucking car I drive? And he looks like he's about ready to fucking swing at you.
Oh, I'm prepared. And I look down. Do I see any rocks or something nearby?
Oh my god, Jesus.
There's a garden gnome.
My plan is, because I want to take this to a more secluded area instead of right on the front fucking lawn. I want to pick the garden gnome up, chuck it at the dude approaching me, and slightly jog into a more darkened area. I want to get him riled up so he will follow, but I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I want to do. I want to pick up the garden gnome, chuck it at his knee,
Oh my
lower body. I don't want to go for a headshot,
Okay.
yeah.
Dex and athletics, please.
Okay.
so weird.
I'm sitting back. I'm watching this.
Dun dun dun.
Just like Francis was gonna swoop in and wingman for Flint. Flint's ready to wingman for Francis.
Ooh, I'm going to spend a willpower.
Of course you are.
That's a fail.
So no successes on the roll?
Nope.
Oh, brother.
Can I spend another willpower?
No.
Yeah, not on the same roll. Shit.
Alright, so the garden gnome did not hit him, and it just fucking thumps, into the yard next to him. And he just stops and he's like, "The fuck are you doing?" And the other guy appears like he's wanting to, like, yeah, he's coming up now too. All right, so yeah, what exactly did you see?
Like I said, I saw his car at your house.
That's it, motherfucker. And he reaches over and he grabs the guy and he clocks him.
Oh.
Right there in front of you.
Okay, I'm seeing how this plays out.
So the guy is dropped like a sack of potatoes, and the other guy just starts putting the boots to him, kicking him when he's down.
Damn.
Like, I know you're gonna kill him. I go up and I fucking just tackle him.
All right, Dex and strength.
Come on.
No, not Dex and strength. Strength and athletics. I'm sorry. Strength and athletics.
2. 2 successes.
All right, and the reason I had you roll athletics is just because you're not, you know, you're trying to do this in a manner that's going to make it easy to feed.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, this is still physical enough to meet your dietary requirements as far as your beast is concerned. And I'm gonna say he goes down underneath you, and you can definitely sneak a bite in. Okay.
Alrighty.
Sneaky bite.
Because I just need to get 1 dot. I mean, I'm not looking for...
It's a lot of trouble for 1 dot.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, the roll was a failure, and as soon as the blood passes past your lips, you know this guy is not your beast. Actually, what are you doing? Really, seriously, this is what you're trying to give me? This garbage?
Oh no.
I'm just trying to have some fun.
Oh, have fun someplace else. This is ridiculous.
Big on! Big on!
And yeah, you instinctively pull away and you lick the wound. This man is not going to. He is not going to have what you need. But the euphoria of the kiss does leave him hazy and groggy. So you're going to be able to walk away from this without any. And the other guy is not getting up anytime soon.
Yeah, I was going to call it a wash and meet back up.
Okay. All right, so Francis rejoins
Technically,
Flint.
you didn't hit anybody, so...
So Francis is rejoining Flint, and the two of you head back to the truck, and then we'll pivot back to Rachel. So you're in your haven, and it's unbearably cold if you were mortal. Like if you were to activate, Blush of Life and actually physically breathe, you would leave fog in the air. You come in, you turn on a light, and you start walking away, and the light goes out. You hear the switch actually click behind you.
What do you want? What are we doing? What is the point? What is the purpose? Just shouting to nothing.
The light turns back on.
I want to go back to the switch and just flip it a couple of times and see what happens.
Nothing untoward. It
Okay.
Yep.
And I assume sensing the unseen will not do anything specific.
Well, it's going to be, as I said before, the whole room is going to be like you're swimming through fog.
Right.
The thing about haunts is this is places, or haunts are places where the veil between the real world and the Shadowlands is very, very thin. And in this particular spot, in this particular haunt, it's going to be hard for you, at least for now, to really determine what the landscape looks like. There is some resistance from somewhere, but you do see a figure sitting at your desk, basically.
Okay.
I'm assuming you've got a main study area.
For sure, yeah.
Okay. So the figure is going to be seated at your desk, kind of facing you. The figure itself is a woman, and she's wearing nightwear that would probably fit in better with like the 1960s.
Okay.
But her hair is kind of like tousled, and you don't see, any, we'll say, unnatural physical features on her. Everything with her though is kind of like, very grayscale, so you can't really tell her natural hair color. You can tell that she's Caucasian, but that's about it.
Okay.
And she's just she's sitting there at your desk, just kind of drumming her fingers.
And she's facing away. She's facing away from me,
no,
or
she's looking at you.
She's looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I see her figure pretty like you said, it's grayscale and kind of fuzzy, but it's all okay.
Yeah.
Please tell me who you are.
She shakes her head.
What can I do? Can I help you? I don't understand why you're here or what we're doing.
Go ahead and one second.
You're good.
Charisma and persuasion, please.
Oh Jesus.
Persuading a ghost.
Well, it's not too bad. Could be worse. I got 1 success.
She has 2 successes.
Son of a bitch.
She actually reaches over onto your desk and grabs a notebook, and you can see her actually struggle. Like her hand just keeps like passing through it, but eventually, and you do feel it get a little bit colder, but eventually her hand does grasp the notebook and she picks it up and she throws it at you. And it just kind of like hits you, in the chest. It doesn't cause any damage, but she's being a petulant. Yeah. she's being a bitch. She doesn't want to.
Fine. You can do this now, but eventually we're going to have to communicate.
She shakes her head and she turns her back to you.
Fine. You don't know me.
And you almost hear her go, And with that is where we will end tonight's session.
Yay, it was fun.
This is good.
Yeah, this one was really fun.
Got to see Flint and Francis go on their fishing trip.
Du Bois. You gotta come up with a name for your duo. Your boys duo.
We'll figure something out.
The Backyardigans.
Jeez.
So, but this was an awesome session, and yes. I'm really looking forward to finally being able to go live with these here in the near future. But
yes.
Yeah, so of course, this is the 3rd episode in, so those of you watching the stream right now, hey, yeah, we're doing a couple episodes ahead of the premiere, so if we do run into real life shenanigans, we're not gonna have a gap. But anyways, it's been a great night. Everyone say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And we'll catch you all later. Thank you for joining. Good night.